you don't have your request on, so I can't send you a request. So you're gonna have to get in the box. Use your big boy britches and get in the box.
Do that part. Yeah, and so I think they're still holding, if I read it correctly, Hamas still has 13 bodies, and like Israel's upset because they haven't returned them. Does that sound right? Or what is the reason for all of this?
I'd have to check the actual count.
Mhm.
But like, I mean, let's be honest. This was just. It wasn't necessarily like a lead to a ceasefire. It was just more like we need a minute to actually get back to like scrapping, and so they just took a pause. Like this wasn't a real thing, and Donald Trump thought that he could capitalize on this moment and then get a Nobel Peace Prize, but this was always going to fail.
Oh, they made such a big deal out of it though. Like literally that whole thing that they did, the assembly, where they had everyone kissing his ass and saying that he was the person to bring about peace in the world. And it was just
Hmm.
so weird. They made a
Well,
big
I
deal
mean,
about it.
Yeah, and
you
then
know,
Hamas
this
didn't do their
administration,
part and
And then
didn't
hey,
this
return the
Kai,
weapon.
administration,
hey, chaos, don't do
she's
that. Don't
exactly
do that.
have some
Lying.
decorum. Have some decorum. We all know that Donald Trump is nothing if not all about like a show. And that's what it was about. It was him putting on like a performance. That's why he did
Feelings.
things like actually pretend that he worked at McDonald's and drive a trash truck and all this other stuff. But it's all
You wanted to appear
performative.
like the common man.
Yeah,
You want to
absolutely.
be Joe the plumber.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
he
But
worked at McDonald's, unlike Kamala.
Erica, you have a impulsive Trump supporter someone who doesn't have actual self-control. Hey, Chaos, can you please act like an adult? Like seriously.
Then
I don't
can
know
Welcome.
what
you
you
act like
hold on, stop it.
not
Seriously.
lie?
Seriously. Like we will literally give you your
Not lie.
opportunity to speak,
Hey,
but
chaos.
stop
You'll
acting
get the
like a
opportunity
child.
to talk. You have to like chill
Why
though. Like seriously,
serious
you'll get a chance
question.
to talk.
Serious
Can I do
question,
my
Chaos.
thing?
Why do you do
He's
that?
asking
Yeah, go
you.
ahead, E. I got it. Go ahead, E. You got it.
Okay. All right. Okay. Guys, we are live on the tube and on Twitch. All right, we are. So if you're dedicated, go ahead and report for duty. All right, it's a little random pop up that we have going on. The title of it is called Blame Santana if you haven't seen that yet. So blame Santana. Okay, with that being said, all right, guys, I want everyone to be active participants. So thank you so much for being here. All right, remember to keep tapping the screen, sharing the live, doing all of the good things. All right, let's go ahead and get the likes up to 100,000 likes. Also, Santana is here. I don't know for how long, but show him love while he is here. And guys, and let's go ahead and knock out our finger heart. So I'm going to go ahead and reset the gift goal here. And remember, all donations, half of our donations, I should say, here on the Tiki Talks via the links in the bio, everything with Erica, PayPal, and Venmo, are going to a local food bank, which we are running until November 17th. All right, we're choosing a local food bank each week to donate to. So this week we're choosing Valley View Community Food Bank here in the Valley of the Sun, which is Phoenix. Next week it could be a food bank in Florida, Virginia, North Carolina, California, Montana. We don't know. It depends on where the loves are. So with that being said, guys, let's do all of the good things. And if you want to support over there on the tube, the best way to do so, you would be directly supporting me. All right, because I ain't got it like that. But the best way to support is via a membership or a super chat. And I appreciate each and every last one of you. So let's get this started. All right, we have chaos here. One more
And
thing, guys.
I was
If you're
just
not
about to say,
following my backup, follow my backup. What are you going to
absolutely. And
say?
I was just about to say, you said you don't know how long I'm gonna be here. Fun fact, in about maybe 15, 20 minutes tops, I'm gonna be on camera. So I'm hanging out for as long as you're gonna be live. So there's that.
Okay, okay. All
I'm
right, this is
glad you
going to
guys
be
are
fun.
finally doing something for the Democrat government. Good, you guys are
I
doing
was
that.
just about to
Were
introduce you. You
you
were
were
doing
you I
so
was just about to
well.
say, were you done yet? Because like his impulse we went too long. That's our fault, E. We
Oh,
went too long.
jeez
He's like a
Louise.
toddler. Anyway, go ahead, E. You
Chill,
got it.
bro. All right.
Poor
Hi.
little fragile boy.
I don't know what he just
Shushies,
said.
bud.
You have
Shushies.
to enunciate. Okay, so chaos. Welcome. All right, so chaos. Draw the
He's
line.
okay now.
Draw the line, chaos. Is your line at harming children? No, children. I don't know what that is. Harming children, war crimes, denying democracy, or lawfare. What's
Well,
your
if he did
line?
any of those, you may have a point, but he hasn't done any of them. So the Democrats are harming children because they refuse to reopen the government. Let's see, war crimes. What are you talking about? You guys are probably talking about the boats getting blown up in the oceans that that are being trying to be stopped.
I'm not gonna hold you. I don't know how much you charge for a drop, but I'll pay that because fuck him. I'm sorry, I refuse. I don't know how much you charge for a drop, but
What?
I'll
I was
pay
gonna.
that. I'm so
All right.
sorry.
Send me
This
my
is one
50
limit.
right now. What are we doing?
No lie, no
You
lie.
owe
I'll
me
send it
money
to you right now.
anyways, bro.
Well, you got to let me know because, like, I don't know, but like, fuck that guy. Seriously, I'm not gonna do that. Like, have some fucking self control. I refuse. Like, they're the worst. They're all just the worst.
I do definitely agree with you, but the thing is that you do know that another one was blown up today, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
14 people and one
Hmm.
survivor. Do you think
Uh,
that
check your Venmo. I just sent it to you.
I see it. Thank you. Shout out to
Yeah.
you.
No, fuck
I
that
read
guy.
it. So 14 people have been killed. And with that being said, one person survived. So with the one person surviving, what I do think about is I think about whether or not they're just going to send them back to their home country again, because there's no evidence that these people are participating in, schmug trafficking. So there's that. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Well, I think that like this administration, they're utilizing the opportunity to go after people in order to incite, allegedly, supposedly, incite a war. And so I think that everything that they're doing is provocation for that. And so it's kind of like what I talked about with the actual agreement that not Argentina, Venezuela put forward. They have no interest in actually agreeing on anything because it's not about the agreement; it's about the war.
Yeah.
So,
But here's the thing. So when you say that, this is what I think about. I think about like I don't think that Venezuela wants a war with the United States of America. I honestly don't. I don't think that they want a war. So I don't think that Venezuela is going to throw the proverbial first punch. Um,
mhm.
and so it's like Trump is going to have to continue to escalate. And then how does that look on him on the world stage? Because like what reasoning does he actually have to
Well,
go into Venezuela?
Well, and again, that's why he keeps using the justification that they're trying to bring smugs into the U.S. Right? That's how he justifies it by continuing to say, and the categorization of them as terrorists. Right? You combine those two, the actual rhetoric that their own Joseph Goebbels is trying to use in Stephen Miller, and trying
Mhm.
to blame the people from Venezuela as and categorize all of them as terrorists using for justification because you're right, they're not going to get the overwhelming support behind it, but they have Trump supporters who are willing to say, "Oh, thugs and all this other stuff." Like that's not true, but this is how they're going to continue to spend it until they can launch like a full scale invasion.
Okay. So I wonder about that. Let me read these off here. Oh, Sophie, that is so sweet of you. Shout out to Sophie for the 5. Sophie said, "Can we just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful you are every single day? You don't look a day past 25." That is because I'm almost 60 and I drink my water and mind my business. So there's that. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you, Sophie. Thank you for that. That is very, very kind of you. Drop all the hearts in Sophie. She just made my day. All right. Also, shout out to Santana for the $50. He did a drop. So there's that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I know, I let your fish off the hook, but he was insufferable already. Like I think I'm running low on tolerance for like the crash outs, and I just
Yeah.
can't do it.
And it was a lot
Oh, I
because,
heard. Oh,
yeah,
I
he was a
heard.
lot. Yeah, that dude was absolutely a lot. He didn't make any sense whatsoever. None. None whatsoever. Anywho, all right, this is me tracking. Also, shout out to Taro over there on the tube for the $5 super chat. Taro said, "Hey, I'm about to run and grab groceries, Santana. Do you need any whole wheat eggs? Terrell's evil twin, Tom Ollie. I don't know what that's about. What is that? What is that about? I don't know.
There's no such thing as whole wheat eggs, and Taro is just choosing violence.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Thank you to Rabrit. I hope I pronounced that right. Rabrit oh wow, a $50 super chat. Holy shit. Thank you so much, Rabrit. Thank you. Rabrit said was recommended to this channel after watching Parker's recent stream. I appreciate everything you, Santana, Dean, and Parker do. Also, vote yes on Prop 50. Yes, California, vote yes on Prop 50. Thank you so very much, Rabrit and Taro. Drop some hearts in the chat, guys. That's fucking awesome. Thank you. All right, guys, keep doing all of the good things. Let's keep tapping the screen, sharing the live. I can't see the gift goal, but I do want to say, if you voted for Donald Trump, you should go ahead and request up. You should just go ahead and request. There's no reason not to. What?
I agree. And just an FYI to all the Trump supporters, if you guys wonder why you keep getting muted, it's because the chat is not your therapy session. No one gives a shit what you have to say from the chat. Get in the box. You literally get the floor. Say it with your chest or don't say it at all.
Or don't say it at all. Seriously. Just don't say it. Because where are you, Trump supporters? Let's see. What do we have here? No, how did that happen? I know you're not a Trump supporter, Devin.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you a question real quick.
Jumping up and down.
He
does that. Why you do that?
Henry, are you a Trump supporter?
Why did you do that?
No, first of all, I would like to say fuck Donald Trump. I thought this was an anti-Trump.
Guys, please respect Erica's boundary. If you are not a Trump supporter, please do not request up. She's not taking friendlies. And as you can see, I am not friendly at all. So if you get in the box and you are not a Trump supporter, guess what? Guess what? You will see magic. I don't care that you wanted to ask a question, Devin. Sorry. I know this is Erica Drew joint, but the bouncer don't play that shit.
Is that person playing a game?
It is. This is one person that I actually muted, and so this is all they have.
Oh. It's like, Snowbird, do you want to have a conversation about where your line is when it comes to Donald Trump, or are we just going to play video game music?
They didn't realize that I just muted them just now. I'm sure they're still playing the sound, thinking they're doing something clever.
So strange. So very strange. Anywho, Trump supporters that actually want to tell us where the line is for them, go ahead and request up and let's have a conversation. All right. Let's go ahead and do that because, as I like to say, why not? All right. It should be easy for you to come up here and tell us what line you've drawn. All right. If you are a human being that has even a mustard seed size of empathy within you, you have a line, I would think. All right. And I would say, all right, that your line should be at harming children. But thus far this week, we found out that, you're okay with that. What about war crimes? What about not what should be, but what ought to be? All right. Should Donald Trump be able to actually blow people up in the middle of the ocean? I don't know where Santana went. He'll be back. Okay. All right. Hi, Sports Edits. Did you vote for Donald Trump? Oh, look at that. That's really easy. Okay, cool. I did that. Hi, Sports Edits. Did you vote for Trump? I don't want your camera on. There's no need for that. Are any of these people okay? I'll send you a request to unmute, but you don't need your camera on. And you go bye-bye. You win bye-bye. I'm blaming Santana for all of this. I promise you guys I am. Anywho, if you voted for Trump, go ahead and request up. Get in the box. Let's have a conversation. All right. I know I say that a lot, but I mean, there's that. So, as I was saying, what should be versus what ought be. All right. You all talk about that Donald Trump does have the authority to actually blow up boats in the middle of the ocean. All right. That's what you all say. All right. And my question is, all right, but should he? Should he? Because where's the evidence? All right. It's not even like a humanitarian thing or anything of that nature. It's literally just a legal thing. Like the police can't bust into someone's home without any evidence, can they? No. All right. Typically, wars aren't started without any evidence. All right. Because when Bush decided to bomb Afghanistan, all right, and send troops into Afghanistan, he had evidence that AQ was in Afghanistan. All right. Also, when it came to Iraq, even though it turned out to be a lie, they still presented us with some fucking yellow cake and told us, all right, that they had weapons of mass destruction. Okay. We found out later it was a lie, but they still, gave us some evidence. So still, where's Trump's evidence that these people are, smug traffickers? That's all I'm asking. Where's the evidence? And, should he have the ability to just, unilaterally decide that we're going to be bombing people? So there's that. So anywho. Oh, sick of society. I totally didn't believe him. When y'all don't remember the yellow cake, I totally didn't believe Bush Jr. on that one. We knew that was a lie. We knew it was a lie. Some people believed it, but we knew it was a fucking lie because there was absolutely no way. It's like, what do you want to go after them? We were like, oh, he just finishing what his daddy started. That's all he was doing. He's just finishing what his daddy started. All right. I was told I have to read some more, but I need to actually keep track to ensure that I'm doing all the good things. So that was, and all right. Oh, hi, Shauna. Thank you so much to Shauna. You know what, Shauna? I'm not going to change the shirt. I'm just going to change the layout. That's what I do. I'll change the layout. I don't want to change the shirt, but I am going to change the layout because Shauna said, can you change your shirt? I can't see the chat. Thank you so much, Shauna, for the $10 to tell me that you can't see the chat. I get so tired of having to wear a black shirt all the time. I'm just going to go out and buy a pack of black t-shirts because I swear. But okay. Some hearts in the chat for Shauna. All right. Also, shout out to Feisty for the 20. Thank you so much, Feisty, for the 20. Feisty said, Shiggles, and you're gorgeous. Thank you so much, Feisty. So are you, love. I appreciate y'all. Drop some hearts in the chat for our donors, guys. Y'all are fucking awesome. All right. Let's keep doing all of the good things. Tapping the screen, sharing the live. All right. And if you're a Trump supporter, go ahead and request up. Let's have a conversation. All right. Let's have a conversation. Not convo, but a conversation. All right. As some of you like to say, let's conversate. Let's do that. I hate when people say conversate, to be perfectly honest with you. It's a word that bothers me so very much. Why can't people have choices? What do you mean, why can't people have choices, Justin? What does that mean? Justina, I'm sorry. I sent you an invite. Yeah, you never had that before? Someone say conversate. I remember I had a supervisor say that to me before, and from that day forward, I never listened to anything that he said ever again. Because he said conversate and meant it. I was like, nope, don't want to talk to you anymore. Don't respect you. Hi, Justina. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, love. All right. You said in the comments, you asked a question. You said, why can't people have choices? What do you mean by that?
Poor people. Why can't poor people have choices?
What do you mean, why can't poor people have choices?
Well, we are voting to remove certain items that people are able to use their SNAP for, or getting rid of SNAP altogether, and then trying to. It just baffles me that we hold ourselves so highly that poor people aren't able to have choices.
When you say that poor people aren't able to have choices, are you thinking about like how people judge people, like those less fortunate for, let's say, I'm buying, some lobster instead of like bread or something like that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. That makes sense. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I don't understand that either. I'm not exactly sure what that is about. I think when people think people who are not relying, but people who do receive government assistance, they think you have to be destitute In some cases, some people are destitute, but sometimes it's the working mom or the working dad who just needs a little bit of help because they don't make enough in income to be able to pay the bills and buy groceries and make sure that their kid gets to, baseball practice and so on and so forth. I think people should be able to eat whatever the hell that they want to eat. And it's just a
Right.
sign of the system that we're in.
Food is not a privilege. And what's
Exactly.
wrong with poor people being able to buy their damn kid a candy bar if they did good at school that day? Why?
Exactly. I
Everybody
agree with
else
you.
uses food.
No, I totally agree with you, love. I don't know. It kind of reminds me. I don't know how old you are, but about a decade back when it was a bit hard. Not a decade. I'm going back way too far. Yeah, about a decade back when it was a bit harder to buy a house at the time. And this guy in Australia, I think it was like a prime minister or something, he said something to the effect of like, oh no, it was in Great Britain. It was in the UK. He said that, well, if millennials would stop buying avocado toast, then maybe they'll be able to afford a house.
Mm.
Yeah. Just if you
It's,
stop.
and if we think about it, we are not people who are fortunate to not have to be on SNAP. We are not as entitled as we think because it could just be a job firing and you are on SNAP yourself.
Exactly.
Hold the
Exactly.
hell up.
Exactly. I saw today a Trump supporter say something, and he said that they wouldn't need their children wouldn't be suffering or be going without food if they just made better choices. And my blood started boiling.
Yes.
And because what? Like literally, I don't think any of the federal employees that got fired were expecting to get fired.
Right.
I don't think that any of the 300,000 women who lost their job earlier this year expected to lose their jobs, And so
Right.
these types of programs are available for when people need them. These people pay taxes.
Exactly. And we live in the United States of America and claim that that is the best country in the world. We have freedom. We have the most money, but people can't have a roof over their head and food. What is wrong with us?
No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I don't know. I don't know. I just think that we live in a society where people are okay with others suffering because it's kind of the mindset of, well, if they're getting this, that means that I'm going without. So I'm okay with them going without as long as it means that I don't go without. It's sad. People have no natural affection for each other.
No, and then the kicker is they're the first people to say they're Christian and they follow God.
Yep. Yep. You're absolutely right.
It's not
You're absolutely right. Yeah. Well, thank you
said. I
so
want
much.
to blow a gasket.
I feel that. But Justina, thank you so much for coming up, love. I appreciate you. Thank you for explaining exactly what you meant because, again, I 100% agree with you. So thank you for that.
Thanks, Erica. Have a good day.
Oh, you too, love. Awesome. Yeah, like people, I got you. All right. Whew. You know what? I'm live and it's my afternoon nap time. Yeah.
That happens.
It does happen. So anywho, shout out to Jonna for the $10 super chat. Jonna said, that's false. I used to be on food stamps and I was not able to buy lobster. Totally understandable. They don't understand. I don't know how much they think people get in food stamps, but it's not lobster money. But even if it is, even if it was, then guess what? By all means, buy whatever the fuck it is you want. Thank you so much, Jonna. I appreciate you, love. Drop some hearts in the chat for Jonna. Also, shout out to Justice Diamond for becoming a love. Hey, they got that membership over there on the tube. All right, Justice, don't forget to join the Discord. Don't forget to join the Discord. Matter of fact, everyone who is still a sub and also a member on the tube and on Twitch, all right, make sure that you're joining the Discord because you get to suggest a local charity in your area. I shouldn't say charity, a local food bank in your area. And what we're going to be doing up until the week of November 17th is we're going to be picking a local food bank. All right. And half of the donations of every single live up until then will be going to the food bank. The donations will happen on the Saturday. All right. And then Sunday, we'll pick another one. We're going to spin the wheel. And it's not going to be a petty wheel like Liv's. It's just going to be a wheel. So let's do that. All right. Make sure you're joining the Discord, guys. All right. Hi, Santana.
Hello.
Hi.
You know,
Trump supporters are pussies.
they are. The fallacy that just because someone has access to SNAP benefits means that they're going to go out and buy lobster. Like, even if they did, right? Let's say they made the decision to 1 month buy lobster.
Treat yourself.
Understanding but understanding like the cost of lobster. I mean, like, these people are making life decisions and they have to stretch those actual benefits for an entire month, not just for one meal.
Yep.
So if there is a off chance that they decide to, like you said, treat yourself for that one meal versus the offset of every other meal for the rest of the month, like, why? I don't understand why people people have a tendency to pocket watch others, to meat watch others, to think that they need to police other people, and it's a strange thing to me.
It's a strange thing to me also. I've never had the ability to actually care what someone else does with their money. So it's not something that I do. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. I've never felt that someone else getting something was taking something away from me. It just never was a thing, especially if I, in a sense, have more. You know, it's like, how can I put it? Like the person at work getting a promotion and you didn't get the promotion and you felt like something was taken away from you. No, it wasn't taken away from you because, I mean, when it's your turn, it's your turn. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's
think about it, E. How many times have you had a conversation with someone and the reason why they, like, just openly admit the reason why I don't want people to get like SNAP benefits is because I didn't get SNAP benefits. And it completely removes the fact that, you know, the people that's getting it absolutely needs it, and they feel like their situation is the same as other situations. But why are you comparing yourself to other people? Like, everyone should have set benefits, and obviously if you didn't get them in that moment, that doesn't negate the fact that other people actually really need them.
Well, think about it like this, because do you really want to get food stamps? Think about it.
Exactly.
Like, do you really want to get food stamps? Because if you're getting food stamps, all right, that means that you are unfortunately struggling in some kind of way. It means that, like, you're having to choose between paying your electricity bill and your rent, or, you know, paying your electricity bill and buying food. You don't actually want to get food stamps. All right. And I think it's on average like $16 or $17 a year in taxes that people pay goes towards the SNAP program. All right. Like, you literally just spent that going to Chipotle and getting double meat. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
I'll tell you this, right? So this is from a research study that was completed, and this is for the last 5 years, right? And so recipient of SNAP benefits for the last 5 years, the highest category of recipients is from the age of 25 to 44 at 23.1%. The second highest is 45 to 64 at 21.4%. The highest category of people that receive SNAP benefits at 62.7% are white people, right? And of that, it's 87.8% are native born, meaning U.S. citizens. 39% of that is people with high school diplomas or GEDs, and 61% of those are non-employed in any month. And to round it off, 43.9% of those people, 43.9% is two parents, and 45.5% is mothers only. So I guess to boil it down in the simplest terms possibly put, the people that's going to be harmed the most overwhelmingly by the lack of access to SNAP benefits, it's white women who literally decided to vote against their own best interests when they sided with Donald Trump and supported him and stood alongside of those white men that overwhelmingly voted for Donald Trump. Those same white women that actually made that decision to vote for Donald Trump. Literally, you're going to be the biggest group impacted by the SNAP benefits being delayed for at least November and possibly longer.
Yeah. I don't know. In my mind, I just think it's about to be a cold winter.
Mm-hmm.
And like people get desperate when they get hungry. Like real talk. They get real desperate. But guys, just a few more shout outs from the tube. Shout out to Just a Guy for the $5 super chat. Just a Guy said, if someone on Snap wants to fill their cart to the top with Skittles, why would I give a fuck? Exactly. Let them taste the rainbow. Exactly. I don't care. I don't care what you buy. It all circulates back into the economy anyways. And that's a whole nother story because our groceries, the grocery stores are about to lose $8 billion in revenue. And that's just in a month. That's a month.
Also,
I got one more.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to say I got one. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. And shout out also to Jonna for the $20 super chat with the hearts. Thank you so much, Jonna. I appreciate you, love. Thank you so very much. Y'all drop some hearts in the chat for Jonna and also for Just a Guy. All right. Drop those hearts and let me make sure we don't have anything else going on before I hand it over to Santana and then we get talking to Chris. Okay, awesome. I don't. All right. Thank you, guys. Y'all are freaking awesome. Let's keep doing all of the good things, guys. Tap the screen, share the live within reason, no spam sharing. And also, let's go ahead and knock out the high bears. And as long as bro is here, make sure we're taking care of Santana. All right. The floor is yours.
Just W's in the chat for Feisty for the $20 donation, Santana News Network. Absolutely. I try to keep you guys up to date as much as possible without breaking your souls, because some of this breaking news is soul crushing, as you know, E. As someone who is constantly getting the information, I think if we inundate them with as much information as we receive, then it may be hard for people to get out of bed.
It's a lot. Like the burden of knowledge is
it's a lot.
Like, and sometimes I'm like, okay, what am I going to actually share today in regards to like, I hate calling it content, so I just call it updates. So like in regards to updates, what is it that I'm going to share today? Because to be perfectly honest with you, it's like almost every single hour, if not every 30 minutes, there is an update. There's something that is happening. And it's like, yeah, like sometimes you just got to disconnect. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, Chris.
What's up, Miss Erica? How have you been?
I've been well. How are you?
I'm good. You remember me, don't you?
I do remember you, Chris. I remember. All right. Have you drawn a line yet? Oh, you haven't voted, but you are a Trump supporter, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Go on.
Well, I mean, just on the subject of the EBT stuff. I mean, I'm a product of EBT. I mean, I grew up on it. I've had it with my kids. I don't think there's a problem with the EBT program as a whole. I think there is a lot of fraud, waste, and abuse in it. And I think everybody can agree that happens in any program. And I think it should be more manageable. I do think that there's something to be said for, and somebody said in the comments, I was just lying, but I watched it with my eyes. And y'all may think this is exaggeration, but I worked part-time at a butcher shop and watched people buy a $120 a pound Japanese Wagyu with the EBT card. And I know people think that's an exaggeration, but it's not. But I know maybe you say, who cares? But if it's taxpayer money that's given people, why does it? Yeah, okay, let me stop looking at the comments. I'm going to get twisted up.
Focus on the conversation at hand. Yes, yeah, the comments. You know better.
So, yeah, I know. But I do think there's some, I think the way the week's done a little bit, where it at least gives somewhat of a guidance on what you can get. I mean, I don't think it should be completely restricted. I do think there should be some way to manage it and regulate it to where people, I don't think people should be able to buy $120 a pound Wagyu on it. That's just my personal opinion.
If they want to eat
I
a
think
120-pound Wagyu, by all means, let them eat a 120-pound Wagyu. Like, I think that's outrageous. What I'm talking about, the 120 pounds is outrageous because what?
no,
Huh?
100, no,
Are they feeding a
120, no,
family
it's
of
100,
15?
no, no,
I
ma'am,
think you
no,
said
ma'am, it's
120
100
pounds.
$120 a pound.
Oh, then that's on them. Have fun. Like,
Yeah,
no one
I
cares.
hear, yeah,
Because here's the thing. Because once you start restricting things, because here's what I think about. Once you start restricting things, you make it harder for people. All right. Because whether they say, okay, you have SNAP, but you shouldn't be able to buy potato chips with it. That's a snack. You shouldn't be able to buy Capri Suns or
yeah,
Prime drinks or,
yeah, of
Gatorade.
course.
All right. So what about the mom whose kid plays soccer and it's snack day
Yeah,
for her?
absolutely.
And she doesn't
And that's what
have
I'm saying. I
the
don't think it should be
$30.
completely restricted. Yeah, no,
But
of
no,
course.
that's the thing. But once you start restricting it in one way, you restrict it in all. They already can't buy hot foods with food
Correct.
stamps. All right. They only can buy cold things. But do you know that there are some places, some people that want them to not be able to buy, that don't want people to be able to buy birthday cakes with their SNAP benefits.
Right. Yeah.
A
I mean,
birthday
obviously,
cake.
yeah, I think that's ridiculous.
But again, you shouldn't be for any type of restrictions. That's the whole thing, because once you
Well,
start
the
at
thing,
one, it's just going to
I wouldn't agree.
cascade into others.
I don't think, yeah, but I don't think you could say once you start with one, because they've restricted hot food. So there's definitely a way to do it. Go ahead, Santana. I don't want to.
Santana, you have the floor. It's okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for you because this
I
is your
know.
live.
Oh, my bad. My bad. I wasn't
No,
trying
no,
to
no.
do nothing like
So,
that.
but the point that I just kind of want to hop in and say, like, if people receive, let's say, $400, and they do buy $120 worth of Wagyu steak or whatever, then that just means they're gonna have $280 left. Like, I'm sorry. I think that it goes back something to something that like my wife once told me, and she put it in perspective with me. If you if someone comes to you and say, hey, I need to borrow X amount of money, and you say, okay, I'm going to give you X amount of money, why do you have to determine what they do with X amount of money? Like, you've
Exactly.
already agreed to giving them that. And so what they do with that money is their decision, as long as, they're going to pay you back, whatever the case may be. But I mean, if they qualify for these SNAP benefits and they qualify for X amount of money a month, which it's not a ton of money, the way they appropriate that money should be however they're going to use that money. Like, it's not our determination. And even more so, like, I'm sorry, and I'm going to be honest, I saw this TikTok and it really really hit home. It said, everything is fucked up. The world's fucked up. The economy's fucked up. The housing market is fucked up. But you're gonna get mad at me because I get drunk and get fucked up. Like, why? Right? So things are super horrible. And if people make a decision to actually treat themselves in any way, shape, or form, or make a decision to buy something nice, especially when you normally don't have access to something nice, like, why are we vilifying them for that? That doesn't make sense.
Well,
Yes, that's a great question.
the only response I would say is, if you're asking for assistance because you need it, I think there should be somewhat of education given. I think there should be I think there should be guidelines when you're getting because it's not an unlimited bank, right? So in theory, if you've I guess if you're getting money and if you can afford, if you can budget your money in a way to where if you can budget it in a way to where you can afford 120, and I'm talking, and a 1 pound steak doesn't go a long way, right? I mean, it's going to feed less than 2 people. So if you can afford if you can afford to budget your money to pay $120 for 2 people to have one serving of protein for a meal, and I know y'all gonna think I'm wrong for saying this. You probably don't need the assistance like you think you need.
Right, but I mean, if that requirement isn't put in place prior to them qualifying for it, then why? Who are we to actually judge and say that it should be put in place afterwards? Like, if that's going to be a requirement, because there are requirements around SNAP benefits. So
There are.
if that's
You
not
go through a whole
requirement,
process.
Exactly. So if that's not a part of the requirement beforehand, then why are we going back and trying to make it a requirement afterwards?
Well, because I mean, it's just like anything else. I mean, if I think it can be, because it is based off of a needs test. I mean, it's based off of a needs assessment, and I mean, like I said, I mean, and I understand we're not going to agree, and I mean, they're never going to institute that, I don't think, but in theory, it's not an unlimited bank of money. So if I'm getting it and using it for $120 a pound steak, then somebody else is probably not getting it when they actually need it. I mean,
How so? How so? How so?
well, it's not an
Because here's
unlimited.
the
It's
thing:
not an
there's a lot
unlimited
of
bank of money,
people
right?
like there. Hold on, there because of the cost of living, like here in Arizona, because of the cost of living, someone making like $55,000 a year, all right, won't qualify for SNAP benefits here in Arizona, right? Especially in the Phoenix
And
metro
why is
area,
that?
because of the
Why would
cost
you
of
say that
living
is?
here. They want because they make too much money. So to them, they make too much money, but making $55,000 a year, all right, they bring home about, I want to say maybe $1,600 every 2 weeks. I don't think it's that much. I want to say it's actually about $1,300 every 2 weeks. But rent is on average in the valley about $1,600 for a 2 bedroom. All right. All right, is about $1,600. So their one paycheck, all right, that one paycheck doesn't even cover their rent. All right, so they need their 2 paychecks. So after they have their 2 paychecks, they have to pay their rent, which is $1,600. All right, then they have to pay, let's say if they have a car note. All right, let's say they're lucky enough that their car note isn't $700 a month, it's only $300. They have car insurance. Car insurance in Arizona averages at about $120 a month. All right. So there's that. All right. Do you understand how this money just keeps getting wasted? Also, if you live in Arizona, you know what APS is. All right. And we all know that APS is expensive and SRP is on their tail. And so, like, then we have their electricity bill, we have the water bill. All right. Like, you have all of these expenses.
So let me ask you
hold
this,
on,
Erica.
Chris. I'm not finished because after they finish paying all of their bills, all right, they may have $100 or maybe even $200 left for food. All right. And they have to go to the grocery store to whereas $100 used to be able to get you enough food to maybe last for 2 weeks. Now $100 is going to get you, all right, maybe 2 dinners, a box of cereal, a gallon of milk, and maybe just maybe a snack. And you got to feed yourself and your child. Like, Chris, I know that you said that you were once on Snap yourself, but I don't think that you're looking at this from a modern day standpoint as to how expensive it is to actually live. All right. And so we start restricting.
To your point.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, to your point, there is people that don't qualify that probably need the assistance, correct?
You said there are people that might qualify that don't need the assistance.
I'm saying people that don't get it, that probably people that don't qualify for it could actually use it, correct?
That's because of how they set the poverty threshold. So that means that they would need to up the income levels.
Right, I agree. Right. So my question is,
that's a whole nother issue.
If they were able to right, but to what I'm saying, if they were able to regulate it in a way to where certain luxury items was not able to be bought on it, and they were able to regulate it to where people got less, would they not be able to raise that income level to where somebody at that $55,000 range that could
makes
use
no
the help
sense,
also
Chris.
would be able to get some? How does that not make sense?
Chris, that makes no sense because just because you say that you can't buy Wagyu steak, you're not changing the actual allocated amount. $400 is $400. The way that they appropriate that $400 is still going to be the way they appropriate it. So just because you say you can't buy this or you can't buy that, they're not saying that, okay, since you're not allowed to buy this and you're not allowed to buy that, then we're going to reduce your overall costs. Like, you're still allocating those set funds. And as someone, so personal story, and this is anecdotal, but while I was in college, I was actually someone who desperately needed SNAP benefits, right? I came from a lower income household. I was someone that actually was a beneficiary of SNAP benefits when I was younger, but FAFSA, and I applied for SNAP benefits while I was in college, and I didn't actually receive them, and I could have absolutely used them while I was in college. But I never felt like, well, other people are getting something that I didn't get. Like that, that's nonsensical. I mean, like if you want to take a look at the actual structure and how things are deemed, I mean, let's be honest. If we can spend $1 trillion on our military budget, then we can afford to approve SNAP benefits for everyone that needs it. So there shouldn't be an instance, well, you need it, but we're not going to give it to you because you don't necessarily meet the threshold. Like it's just an excuse. It's literally an excuse, and you're talking about regulating something where, like, if the United States, this is the part that pisses me off about the United States and the people that seem to think that like grabbing bootstraps and pulling them up or whatever is like a real thing. If the United States wanted to actually regulate out poverty or regulate out houselessness or hunger, like the United States government could literally do it. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They could literally do it.
But they won't, because
They won't.
capitalism.
Correct.
Literally it. That's it. And it's capitalism that has people who've even had to use the benefit, the social program, all right, thinking that others are somehow, some way abusing it because they bought a steak. Like, you really have to think about that, Chris. Seriously. So I there was something else also in regards to this. That the process for getting SNAP benefits isn't easy. All right. These people actually they have access to your information. Like a lot of people who have been laid off or fired, they have 401ks. A lot of employers offer 401ks. And what ends up happening is that people will cash out their 401ks if they don't have the savings. Because as you know, outside of a 401k, most Americans are one paycheck away from homelessness or houselessness, right? So they'll cash out their 401k. And when you're going through the process of applying for SNAP, they will ask you about that. They'll ask you about IRAs and 401ks. And they'll ask you if you cashed it out and when you'll be receiving it and how much. Or even if you got a severance, they will ask you about your severance, because your severance could still put you over the threshold to where you don't qualify. And they're going to wait until the severance is depleted. And they'll tell you, well, once you don't have that anymore, give us a call back, because they have access to your bank accounts. Like they get this information from the state. So this fraud, waste, and abuse that you all talk about is not happening on the end of the people who are receiving the benefits. It's happening because this is not the 80s. It's not even the early 90s. All right. It's happening on the end of the people behind the scenes who are processing these claims. It's not happening with the people who actually need it. But before we continue, Santana, I want to go ahead and read these off because we have quite a few. Shout out to Just a Guy over on the tube. Thank you so very much for the $5 super chat. Just a Guy said, what if roles were reversed? What if I started slapping the box wine and Pepperidge Farm cookies out your hand because I don't think that's healthy? Exactly. All right, I'm just gonna walk through the grocery store and just start like slapping Coke bottles out of people's hands. I don't fucking know. Like, we have to think logically here. Also, let me see here. Shout out to Sophie for the $1. Sophie, you gotta start giving me compliments. I'm gonna be smiling all day long. Sophie said, your smile makes my day. You're so sweet. I love you most. Oh, never apologize, love. I appreciate you so much. All right. Sophie said, oh, Sophie, thank you. I'm not going to read the rest of that, but thank you so very much, love. I appreciate you. Drop some hearts in the chat for Sophie. Also, shout out to cousin Jesse for the 5. Long time no see. Hey, cousin. He said, how are you and Santana doing today? Why are conservatives so concerned of pocket watching everybody else? I just joined the conversation, but I did catch the part. He was a part-time butcher. Santana just said nearly $8 billion will be lost in revenue for grocery stores. Exactly right. We're going to be losing a lot of money. And again, that's just in the month of November. There's also December and other months. We don't know how long this is going to last. This is going to be detrimental to our economy. It really, really is. But we're concerned about people purchasing steak. All right. Shout out to DRC for the 5. DRC said, respectfully, the root of Chris's problem is that he's jealous he can't freely spend 120 on Wagyu steak. The fact that he thinks the federal assistance budgets can be raised with responsible spending for higher incomes is very telling. Yes, it is. That is a word. Thank you, DRC. Also, cousin Jesse sent another 2 and says, Santana says something that brings up a great question. Can this guest name an ethnic group of people that did not pull themselves up by the bootstraps without the government's help? No, you can't. Can you tell us, Chris? Can you name another group of people? Any group of people? Can you name a group of people here in the United States, any demographic that pulled themselves up by the bootstraps with no government assistance?
I don't know off the top of my head.
There isn't one. I just want to let you know there literally isn't one. When immigrants come to this country, they get access to actual specialized loans to start small businesses. So they get that. They also have access to different types of loans when it comes to education. So there's that. We can talk about white people. The biggest affirmative action program ever in the United States history was the home lending program started back in the early 1920s that actually helped white Americans build the suburbs. So build suburbia. Biggest affirmative action program ever. $2 trillion. $2 trillion. Yeah. So there's that. Lots and lots of money. So, I mean, there's none. There's literally absolutely no group in this country that has ever actually pulled themselves up by the bootstraps. None. But Santana, you did have your hand raised. What's up?
I just want to take a moment to read this off because Erica, before I start, what's today?
Today is October 28th.
No, the date.
It's a Tuesday.
The day. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
And
Chris,
what don't you have to be on a Tuesday? Aggravated. You don't have to be aggravated on a Tuesday. Oh shit, she just came in. Hey Kiana.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Just this week, Erica, it's what day again?
Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Just this week, UPS just announced laying off 48,000 employees. Amazon has laid off 30,000 employees. Intel has laid off 24,000 employees. Nestle has laid off 16,000 employees. Accenture has laid off 11,000 employees. Ford has laid off 11,000 employees. Nova Nordic has laid off 9,000 employees. Microsoft has laid off 7,000 employees. PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, has laid off 5,600 employees. Salesforce has laid off 4,000 employees. Paramount has laid off 2,000 employees. Target has laid off 1,800 employees. Kroger has laid off 1,000 employees. Applied Materials has laid off 1,444 employees. And Meta has laid off 600 employees. What's the day this week?
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. Literally, it's Tuesday. Now, one little bit of ray of light. This just broke just a few minutes ago, and a federal judge has permanently barred Donald Trump from being able to fire government employees. So there are 4,000, let me get the exact number, 4,100 employees that receive layoff notices, and there's a permanent injunction put in place until this goes to court. So at least 4,100 federal employees are officially going to be able to keep a job until this goes to court and this is seen and all the way through. With that being said, we're arguing about whether people should be able to buy food with SNAP benefits, where literally people are losing their livelihood. Like literally yesterday, Erica, did you know that yesterday the stock market closed on a record high for closing? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. Corey didn't tell me.
Yes. So companies literally made a record amount for a day in the stock market yesterday, and then turned around and laid off thousands of employees. So
Hey,
tell
Santana,
me again, while we're talking about people buying $120 Wagyu steak, where literally corporations are making money hand over fist and literally firing thousands of US American employees while replacing them with AI, because that's what's happening. They're literally replacing these jobs with AI so they don't have to actually pay employees.
can I ask Santana a question, Erica?
Sure. He just asked you a question. So answer his, and then
What
you
did
can
he
ask
ask
him a
me?
question. Santana, do you want to repeat your
He
question?
I didn't hear a question. I heard a lot. I heard a lot of statements. I didn't hear a question.
He was basically saying why the stock market, because I didn't fully hear it, but I did hear a question at the end. So I'm so sorry because I'm doing 5 things at once. But basically, why is it
Yeah, the
that these
question is,
people keep getting
why are we
richer?
talking about why are we talking about SNAP benefits for Americans when literally these companies within the US are making record profits and then also firing people at a record pace?
Oh, that was the conversation when I came up. So that's why. I mean, I don't know why the conversation started. I just that's what the conversation was going when I came up. So I can't answer that. But
Oh,
my
Chris.
my you mentioned today's Tuesday, and all of these people got fired this week. I mean, I think that's disingenuous. I'm looking at UP. You said UPS cut how many this week?
48,000 this week.
And that's okay. I'm looking at
That
that.
literally the announcement just came out as far as the amount of layoffs that they're
Right, but it also, but
completing.
if you read it, if you actually read what that announcement says, it says those jobs are being cut this year, since last year.
Yeah,
UPS has
no.
New York Times 3 minutes ago. New York Times, UPS has cut 48,000 workers since last year.
Oh, I'm gonna say this. I don't care if it was cut yesterday, today, or within the
Well, no,
last year. There's
I
still
agree with that.
48,000 people that have lost their job. I mean, we can talk about how Amazon, all right, has announced that they're going to be cutting thousands of jobs in the corporate sector of their company because of AI, because of automation. All right. And so it's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like we're literally forgetting the human element here. Yes, thank you.
So are you saying we
14,000.
shouldn't progress?
And
You're saying we
and
shouldn't
just
progress with AI?
Just an FYI, yes, 48,000 in the first 9 months of 2025, a part of a cost-cutting restructuring to improve "quote unquote" efficiency and profitability. This includes 14,000 management positions and 3,400 operational roles. The company also closed 93 buildings to streamline the network amid reducing expenses by $3.5 billion. So yeah, I mean, you can talk about this, but literally it says all of this has happened within the last 9 months. Who's been the president for the last 9 months?
Donald Trump, and I'm sure he went down to UPS and told them to do this. And
Literally prior to Donald Trump taking office, the job market was in a rise. Literally, the way that Donald Trump has continued to implement his policies and tariffs, and the way that he's governed or lack of governing has attributed to these companies absolutely reducing their workforce. So you can say, okay, yes, 48,000 total within 9 months, but prior to Donald Trump getting in office, when Joseph Robinette Biden was in office, they weren't cutting jobs. They weren't cutting jobs. People weren't going without their SNAP benefits. People weren't in risk of losing their health care. Like none of this was happening.
so are you telling me that if Trump didn't get elected, the Affordable Care Act subsidies wouldn't be up for renewal by the end of this year?
What
They
I'm
still
telling is
be
that,
Go ahead.
go ahead, E, sorry.
No, I was going to say they still be up for they wouldn't be expiring. You know why? Because Joe Biden knew the power of diplomacy and working with people to actually ensure that Americans were taken care of, and he knew how to negotiate. That's how he was able to
Well,
pass the most legislation of any president within modern history. All right, we can run down the list, but this isn't about Joe Biden. All right.
right. I didn't
All right.
say
What we
anything about
have,
Biden. You brought
hold
up
on.
Biden.
Hold on. No, you said you asked the question though, Chris. You said if Joe Biden was in office, are you telling me that the Affordable
No,
Care
I did
Act
not. I said
No,
if
to
Trump
be
didn't get
specific, he
elected.
said if Donald Trump wasn't in office, and I said it. What we do know is that prior to Donald Trump being in office, when Joseph Robinette Biden was in office, the trends were trending up versus trending down while Biden.
I know, I heard that.
While Trump is in office.
Yeah, I got that part. I'm just saying that no, we wouldn't worry about the subsidies expiring because again, Biden and Kamala Harris knew the power of diplomacy, of working, of bipartisanship. So there's that. Now, with that being said, what we have here with Donald Trump, we have a Republican president in office, all right, with a Republican Congress. So both chambers of Congress are majority GOP, all right. And what they're doing is they are using this, all right, they're using this current shutdown to defund and get rid of social programs. All right. Donald Trump, although he may not be the smartest, all right, he does have smart people around him, all right, who have explained to him that SNAP is not going to be able to recover, all right, from this lack of funding. This is going to be the longest government shutdown in our nation's history, going longer than the 35 days that previously happened in the first Trump administration. Because that's what they want to do. They literally want to get rid of these social programs. Trump himself said it. He called it democratic programs.
I think you're missing one thing. Not only
What's
is
that?
SNAP not going to be able to recover, but the Affordable Care Act is going to be gutted and subsequently
Yes.
die. Right? That's
Yep.
what they wanted. They've been trying to overturn. I mean, they've been trying to repeal the ACA, and they haven't been able to find a way to do it. And so now they're choking it out along
Yep.
with all other social safety nets that you just spoke on.
Exactly. All right. So it's not just about it's not just about who is the president at this time and whether or not these things will be coming up for renewal, Chris. What it's about is the fact that Donald Trump and his GOP-led Congress are refusing to negotiate. They have a responsibility to come to the table and talk to the minority. They really do. They can't just say our way or the highway. All right. They can't just say capitulate. They can't do that. All right. They have to negotiate because at the end of the day, I would like to think that they are working on behalf of their constituents. But it doesn't seem that way because, Chris, do you know which states have the highest population of those receiving SNAP benefits? We're not even going to go into Medicare or Medicaid, but let's talk about SNAP benefits. Do you know the states?
Well, it's red states, yes.
Yep, it's definitely red states like West Virginia, Mississippi, Alabama, like those states. It's them that are receiving it. And they have people that they voted for who aren't looking out for their best interest. Like, what are we supposed to do? The Democrats are literally showing that they care about United States citizens, that they want to ensure that people don't have to pay more out of pocket when it comes to their health insurance. They want to make sure that, the hundreds of hospitals in our rural areas, which are already underfunded, continue to stay open so that people can get the care that they need. They want to ensure that people get to eat. Why don't Republicans want the same?
The rural hospitals was also funded through the big bill as well.
No, they weren't funded through the big, beautiful bill, sir.
Not even
He
close.
cut funding to Medicaid upwards of almost $900 billion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And so if those funding cuts go through, then we are going to see those rural hospitals close. So people who already have to drive miles to get care, emergency care especially, are going to have to go either further, or guess what? They're just going to have to go without. And when you go without health care, you die.
Literally,
So $50 billion
actual rural hospitals have already closed in preparation for the institution of the big beautiful bill, and then even more than that, to Erica's point, like it's multifaceted, right? We can talk about the closing of the hospitals. We can talk about the defunding of Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act. We can talk about the installment of RFK Jr., who has, for some reason, completely stricken down like all the different types of vaccines that are, proven to be effective. And what this is doing is creating a sick working class of people where there's more people depending on needing to work because they don't have any type of social safety nets, and they don't have the ability to actually get health care. So they're looking to increase the working class. That's why they're trying to decrease the minimum age for people to start working. That's why they're trying to increase the actual age for people to retire. They're looking to increase the working class while at the same time having the greatest transfer of wealth in United States history. They literally want a plutocracy, and they're creating the working class to support said plutocracy.
Okay. The Rural Health Transformation Program in the big bill, $50 billion over 5 years to fund rural hospitals through funding and initiatives. Half of it would be distributed equally amongst the states, resulting in approximately $100 million per state per year. The remaining 50% will be allocated by the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services based on factors like rural population, number of rural health facilities, and the situation of hospitals in the state. That's $50 billion in the big, beautiful bill that was allocated for it's called the Rural Health Transformation Program.
So Donald Trump.
Y'all know this. I know y'all do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Can I
Go ahead,
ask
Santana.
some really
Fine.
quick? Cool. You said it's 150. I'm sorry. You said $500 million with the M.
No, 50 billion.
50 billion. 50 billion. Okay. Cool. Approximately how much does it cost to run an average size rural to average size hospital a year?
I don't know.
$251.5 million. That's a normal rural hospital. $251.5 million. How many rural hospitals do you think there were in the U.S. in 2024?
You tell me.
1,796. Right. So if there's 1,796 hospital, and let's just say that it takes $252 million for that 1,796 hospitals, right? That's what, $4.5 trillion? Like, what are we talking about?
Exactly.
You think that amount that they allocated in the big beautiful bill for those rural hospitals, and this doesn't even include the other hospitals in the U.S., just the rural hospitals. So, Chris, do you think that that's adequate funding for those hospitals?
I mean, probably not. If what you're, I mean, I'm not going to deny
Erica, you
what
were
you're
about to
saying.
say something.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny what you're saying, but I mean,
Yeah, Santana just did the math because about like in rural areas, because think about it again, almost $900 billion in cuts to Medicaid and Medicare. All right. And it's about 23% of people that live in rural areas actually receive Medicaid. All right. Compared to 19% nationally. All right. So that means more people in rural areas actually rely on Medicaid. Okay. Medicaid is what pays these hospitals. All right. They contribute about almost $4 billion individually to like each individual hospital. So with the cuts in Medicaid, they lose this income. They won't be able to sustain. So that's the thing that we have to think about, because one thing about Donald Trump, and he does this so expertly, so expertly. Donald Trump will literally shake your hand with the right and stab you in the back with the left. All right. And so and we see it because you just mentioned it, Chris. You mentioned the 50 billion that's going to these rural hospitals. You mentioned that, but it's like to you, it's like that negates the fact that he's literally gutting Medicaid, which is a federal program that these hospitals depend on for revenue. So it's like you don't see it. You don't see it. And I wonder why. That's the thing about Trump supporters that I do wonder about. And I'm actually asking you this sincerely, Chris, is like, why do you only want to see the good? You don't see that he's cutting funding. It's like the good is just small enough. And this is not a slight at you, I promise. I'm serious. I'm so serious. It's just the best way that I can put it based on how my brain works. It's like this 50 billion, this funding that he's giving is just small enough for you to like grasp and understand. But the bigger picture that he is cutting funding from this program is like just too much to like be able to see. It's too big to see. It's too macro. All right. So you're just like, you know what? But he might be cutting the funding there, but he's still giving them $50 billion. So this is a good thing. It's not. It's not. So what is it, Chris? Can you help me understand, please? I'm seriously asking.
I'm sorry, I had a call come in. Can you repeat what you just said?
Not the whole thing. You had to call the whole time.
No,
I heard the end of it.
no, ma'am, no, ma'am. It was just whatever the last probably 5 seconds was because I saw you pause.
It's okay.
I knew you. Go ahead.
It's okay. I was just asking. Help me understand because I'm sincerely asking you. I really am. Like, why don't you see that basically Donald Trump is shaking your hand with the right and stabbing you in the back with the left?
I mean, I don't know how to. I mean, I don't have an answer for that. I don't. I mean, I'll be honest. I don't have an answer for that. I don't. I mean, I don't know how to answer you that. Just to be completely honest.
All right, I'll try to ask another Trump supporter that question.
Hey, Erica, I got a question. The comments, and I know you don't. Am I white or black?
I'm sorry.
Somebody,
I got a phone call. Go ahead and ask it again.
You're so silly.
No, I'm serious. I got a phone call. It was hilarious.
Okay. No, somebody said that. Don't I know I'm black and Trump wouldn't let me clean his car.
Chris ain't black.
Oh, there they go again.
Whole ass white man.
Hold on.
Chris is a whole ass white man. Guys, let me do this. Chris is a whole ass white man.
A whole one.
White.
A fat one too.
White. Okay, let me read these off. Shout out to Miss Donna over there on the tube for the $5 super chat. Ms. Donna said, my goodness, I had to literally hula hoop through a Fruit Loop to get $25 a month. Abuse and fraud has been minimum since 2000. I'm a disabled senior. My goodness, Ms. Donna, you deserve more, especially after a lifetime of paying taxes. My goodness. I am so sorry. That's what we're talking about. And that's why we're doing like the food drive here, because people need help, especially our younger people and our seniors. Like, fuck it. Everybody needs help. All right. In this time, everybody just needs help. All right. And so we have to be able to do, if we can, don't feel bad if you can't donate. Don't feel bad if you can't donate. But if you can, then please do. All right. Please do. I'm so serious. Just please do, because our communities, our neighbors around us are in need. And so many people have way too much pride to ask for help. They really, really do. Thank you, Miss Donna, for that. I appreciate you, love. Also, thank you, Niles, for the 5 gifted subs over there on the tube. If you received a sub from, not a sub, but a membership from Niles, definitely make sure you say thank you. Thank you so very much, guys. Also, over on there's more, because you guys are freaking awesome. So let me see here. All right. Shout out to Kyler for the 5. Kyler said, working at UPS, and I don't speak for the company, it's been hard not to notice how the economy and international tariffs are cutting into our volume. It's a clear reminder of how deeply global trade policies ripple down to the day-to-day operations on the ground. Oh, most definitely. My dad, he works at UPS also. All right. And he actually talks about this, how they are sending people home early because they don't have anything to do. They don't have anything to do. All right. And so I don't think people understand the chain reactions, the cause and effects, the correlations that end up happening due to the choices and the actions of the president of the United States, along with his administration. They don't recognize it. It's like people can only see the immediate. Thank you so much, Kyler, for that. I appreciate you. Also, let me see here. Thank you so much to Democracy Rising. Democracy Rising sent a 5 and said, how much of these complaints about people on SNAP is other working people struggling and knowing they need help too? Punching down is a losing strategy. It is. It really, really is. If anything, we should be uplifting people. That's really all that we should be doing, is uplifting each other, edifying. I mean, you lose nothing. In my opinion, I don't lose anything. When someone comes to me for help about something, or they say that they have a need, I don't lose anything by saying, okay, all right, what are your pay links? Or how can I help? All right. If it means having to buy them a meal or give them a bottle, I don't lose anything. I really don't. And I wish more people just viewed it that way. Also, shout out to Mr. Chaos and his Jackson 5 nostrils for the 5. I appreciate you so much. He said I got 5 on it. Y'all are friggin' awesome. Thank you all so very much. Drop hearts in the chat for all of our donors. Drop all of the hearts in the chat. Santana, did you have any?
Yeah, W's in the chat for Ricky, who sent a $3 donation. Said, why do they blame you? I don't know. I'm not sure what they're blaming me for, but yeah, blame it on Santana. W's in the chat for Ricky. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Let's keep it going, guys. Remember, this week we are half of all donations are going to the Valley View Community Food Bank here in the Valley of the Sun, which of course is Phoenix. All right, I chose the first one, so again, half of all donations are going there. All right, next week again, it could be a food bank in Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, Idaho. I just thought of all the I states. All right. So it could be a food bank anywhere else in the United States of America because our loves, our members, our subs are choosing the food bank, and we're going to spin the wheel to choose one this upcoming Sunday. So let's keep doing all of the good things, guys. All of the good things. Keep tapping the screen. Let's get this up to 200,000 likes. All right. Also,
and Erica's going to reset her gift goal as well. So make sure you knock that out.
I'm about to say that. All right. Also, we're going to go ahead and reset the gift goal. You know what? Let's do balloons. I'm going to do balloons. So let's knock out the balloons, guys. Also, Santana is here. All right. I need you all to show Santana all the love. All right. Show my friends some love. All right. Do all of the good things for Santana. Links are in the bio, guys. And yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Oh, also shout out to Feisty for the $2 super chat. Feisty said time is a valuable and free donation, and is, because I saw something today, and I was looking at the Valley View site. I was looking at their site. They have like a advent calendar, but it's for food banking. And I sent it to Bubba, and I said, I'm doing a box and you're going to do a box. So it's like each day you put an item in it. And then on, I think the 23rd or the 24th of December, you take it and you go ahead and you give it to the food bank. And it has stuff like there, like a jar of peanut butter, a box of pasta, spaghetti sauce, so on and so forth. So that's what Bubba and I will be doing to get kind of like just get him involved. And so we'll see what happens, because we both have short attention spans, but I'm dedicated. I'm determined. So focus, man. All right. What's up, Santana?
W's in the chat for Mariah. Mariah just sent a $1.50 donation saying, hey, Santana and Erica, question, will the American taxpayers be paying for Trump's $230 million emotional distress DOJ settlement through our taxes? If so, I'm going off grid because this is asinine. Love y'all. Yes. Erica said it. Yes. Yes, we will. We will. Someone made, and I think Erica, you sent me this video, but the the actual premise behind all of the quote unquote donations and money, and then the correlation between the ballroom. Yeah, that's interesting. Yes. That's super interesting.
It's BS. Like literally, like there was a list that was released, I think on the 20, it was not yesterday. I think it was around the 23rd that this list
2 days
was
ago, because I hadn't made the video about it yet. Yeah, I got the thing and I was supposed to make the video and I just haven't.
Get to it, Mr. Make the content. Provide the updates, sir. Provide the updates. But yeah, so there's supposedly a list of donors, and there are all these companies. Even HP is up there. HP is up there.
Yeah, for anyone wondering, who the supposed list of donors are for Donald Trump's ballroom that went from $250 million to $350 million, it is Ultra Group, Amazon, Apple, Booz, Apple, Hamilton. I haven't heard of that. Caterpillar, yep. Coinbase, Comcast Corporation, Hard Rock International, Google, from their $22 million that came in from the settlement that Trump reached with Google on through YouTube, HP, Lockheed Martin, Meta Platforms, Nincrom Technology, Microsoft, NextEra Energy, Plancher Technologies, Ripple, Ronald's America, T-Mobile, the company said that it had to donate to the trust for the National Mall, but had no quote unquote no role in what the funds are using for. So basically, T-Mobile saying, "Yeah, but we didn't make the decision where it was going." Tether America and Union Pacific Railroad.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the actual companies that allegedly have donated to the ballroom, but it seems like a lot of companies are saying like, "Hey, they got our money, but we didn't make a decision as far as how the money was being spent."
That's concerning.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Well, and
that's
two,
very that's a trick. Mm-hmm.
for the people that say that's companies doing it and it's not taxpayer money. However, those companies that are donating it to a tax deductible. They're donating it to the trust fund of the National Mall, where it's tax deductible. So even though they're donating it, even if it's true, they're still writing it off of their taxes. So that that's still money they're not paying the taxes to pay to that. So I mean,
Even
there's
more
that.
so as well, like you have to think about the additional costs as far as like the Secret Service, and like literally right now the residence of the president of the United States is an open air area, right? Like it is super susceptible to any type of attacks, and so additional security. That's why Donald Trump, when he talked about like working with the Secret Service and all this other stuff, like literally this is a massive security risk, and so additional security forces and funds have been allocated to protecting Donald Trump and his ego project.
Yeah. Oh, Santana, also another thing, did you hear that a few dozen AGs and governors, all Dems, of course, are suing the USDA for not releasing the SNAP benefits?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Did you hear about that? Yeah, that
Mhm.
came in like about almost an hour ago. So,
Yeah.
About 30 states, I think.
yeah, it's, boom.
I think it's interesting that this administration has made a conscious decision not to allocate funds in order to provide SNAP benefits for 42 million Americans. And then
Mhm.
on top of that, where multiple states have said like, hey, if you ensure that you're going to reimburse us for these costs, that we'll cover it.
Yes.
And they're still saying no.
Exactly that part. I was talking about that last night. That is very, very telling. It's telling because it's showing that they don't care. Because if the states are willing to say, okay, we'll front load it and you just pay us back on the back end once this CR goes through, then everything will be fine. 42 million people don't have to go without food, especially during a month like November. You know what I mean? And any month is bad, but you know, people love to come together in November because of Thanksgiving, right? And so, real talk, it's like they don't care. They're literally telling you they don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you have to remember, like, that's the reason why, that's the only reason why most of our military members are being paid right now, is because certain financial institutes are stepping up and saying, hey, we're going to cover those costs for military members because the federal government is going to give it back to us on the back end. So,
shout out to USA. Shout out to USA.
USA.
Only USAA members know what that is. Shout out to USA. All right, Navy
USA.
Federal,
We love USA.
Chase Armed Forces. Yeah. But shout out to them.
Navy Federal.
Yeah, Navy Federal. I said them. Yeah, shout out to them because literally they're getting the loans and it's based up. They can get a loan up to their pay. So I think it's up to a month's pay, or is the biweekly
It's per
pay.
paycheck.
It's per paycheck?
Yeah, it's the per paycheck. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so, yeah. And the good thing is that it is interest free, which is good. And so once they get paid their back pay from the government, they'll be able to pay those loans back. This isn't the first time. I know for a fact that USAA and Navy Federal had to do this because they did it once under Obama, but that only lasted like, I think 2 weeks. I think it was 17 days, wasn't it, under Obama? And then for Trump, the 35 days that they did it.
Donald Trump is setting records. He has the 2 longest shutdowns in the United States history.
Exactly. And this is not a good thing. Chris, why don't you see the hypocrisy in this man? Like, I'm so serious. I ain't trying to convert you or anything of that nature. I don't even think that's my duty, to be perfectly honest with you. All right.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Why don't the Democrats fight for the subsidies apart from the CR?
Because if
that's dangerous.
If they approve if they approve
the subsidies, then there's no guarantee that the Republicans are going to negotiate with them. I'm sorry, approve the CR. There's no guarantee they're going to negotiate on subsidies. Like the actual holding up the CR is the only bit of leverage that they have in order to secure the subsidies. So as soon as they give it up, it's done.
Yep.
Exactly.
I mean, that's so
there's
dangerous.
been plenty of Republicans come to the table talking about a subsidies extension as part of a broader program.
Cool story, Chris. Hey, why is the government shut down?
Because Congress hasn't passed a CR.
Who stopped Congress from passing a CR?
I mean, you can argue both ways. I mean, let's be real.
No, literally, the Republican Party was told by the administration, by the Trump administration, do not negotiate with the Democrats. And I'm not making this up. And this is not.
And Schumer didn't say the same thing to the Democrats.
One second. This is not me guessing it. Literally, Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, the senator from Alaska, Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski, who voted for the Big Beautiful Bill, came out directly and said that this administration, the Trump administration, told them do not negotiate with the Democratic Party, that they had a plan. And then once the government shut down, they were going to be able to come in with their plan and actually get a better deal. And now that the government is shut down, there's been radio silence from the administration, and they're making no efforts, and they're still just telling them don't negotiate with the Democrats. So while there are Republican members of Congress who want to actually negotiate and try to actually open the government back up, literally this administration, the Trump administration, is telling them do not do so. And this isn't coming from me. This isn't coming from some left-leaning source. This is literally coming from a Republican senator who openly admitted it from their own mouth.
So are you telling me Chuck Schumer didn't instruct the Democrats not to negotiate?
I don't care what you want to pivot to Chuck Schumer. I'm telling you that Lisa Murkowski.
That's not a pivot.
Lisa Murkowski, the Republican senator from Alaska, said that they received explicit directions prior to the shutdown. And then once they decided not to actually shut down, and then once the shutdown was completed, they were told that they were going to be able to come back to the table. But since then, they have not. And there is no actual negotiations that have gone in place, and they're just being told do not negotiate with the Democrats.
I don't. Okay, to your point, I don't disagree with that, but I think you could. I think you can also agree. Chuck Schumer and AOC has blocked the Democrats from negotiating as well.
Who has power?
What about the nuclear option, though, Chris?
What about it?
Why aren't they using it? If they really, really cared. All right. And they want this funding, and, they're blaming it all on the Democrats, right? Why not just use the nuclear option?
Same reason, the same reason the Democrats didn't use it when they were in control.
But I mean, the Republicans literally just used the nuclear option like a month ago to approve those 48 nominations. So there's that.
Yeah. Hey, E, I'm gonna leave you with Chris because it seems like this 2-on-1 is not doing him well. So I'm gonna let you solo dolo this one.
No, I'll drive. Y'all good. I don't want to derail what y'all got going on.
You can stay. But E, I'm gonna get out. I appreciate you having me up and let me hang out for a while.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Santana. All right, guys. I'm pretty sure you already are, but make sure you're following Santana. I say that with a smile. Thank you, bro. So, Chris, answer that question, please. All right. They have the power to. They really do. They have the power to do that. So
I'll be honest. I don't know a whole lot about the nuclear option. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know a whole. I just know that they said they need 60 votes. I'm not. I don't. Tell me. Tell me. Or I can look it up if you don't feel like. Go ahead.
I'm going to tell you. No, I don't mind. It may be people in the chat who don't know. So in the Senate, John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, he has the ability to basically change the rules for this vote. It's the nuclear option. It's kind of like the kapoom. Instead of needing a supermajority of 60 votes, they can use a simple majority, which is 51 votes. They can do that. They have the 51 votes to do it. I believe it's like 55 or 56 Republican senators are in office. So, no, 54. So they could do it, but they won't do it. They won't because it does not serve the bigger purpose here. All right. There's a few different things. All right. Santana's not here anymore. So that means that I can put on my tinfoil. All right. And talk to you all about a few things that I think All right, are you guys ready? Really, I should start playing the X Files theme when it comes to this part of the show. But guys, let's keep doing all of the good things before we go into conspiracy land. All right, keep doing all of the good things. All right, we're working on the balloons, so let's go ahead and knock those out. All right, also we're at 142,000 likes with over 700 people here. Let's go ahead and get this up to 200,000 likes. I know we can do it. That's actually a really small goal. So let's keep tapping that screen. Also, guys, remember, we are fundraising for a local food bank here in Arizona. It's called Valley View Community Food Bank. All right, this is the food bank of the week, and half of all donations will be going there, all right, at the end of this week. And the end of this week is going to be Friday. So after 5 days show, I'm going to tally the numbers. I'm going to put on my visor, tally the numbers, use my little calculator. All right, and we're going to send that donation Saturday morning. All right, guys. All right, so you can do that. You can help out by visiting the links in the bio. Everything with Erica is the name, PayPal and Venmo. I also have a Zelle, everything with Erica9@gmail.com. And if you are on the tube, all right, the super chats do not go towards the food bank fund. That is directly for me. So thank you so much for your support. So if you like to support the live on the tube, all right, you can send a super chat or a membership, and I appreciate you all so very much. I've also pinned the links in the chat over at YouTube. All right, if you want to donate there, that is pretty fucking awesome of you. So thank you so very much. With that being said, let me check here. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum. That's hold music, guys. Hold music. Okay. All right, guys. Shout out to Joey. Thank you so much, Joey, for the 15. Joey. Oh, it's Joey. Hi, Joey. Joey said, hope this helps with something, just not towards tamales for Santana. I know that's right. He ate the husk, y'all. I try not to talk about him too bad, but he did eat the husk, which is crazy work. Absolutely crazy work. Thank you for the balloons, by the way. Drop some hearts in the chat for Joey. Also, shout out to Roberta for the 10. Roberta, never apologize, love. Remember, you give because you want to, not because you have to, and you do what you can. So thank you so very much. Roberta said, I am supporting my neighborhood mothers and children while our food bank is closed until late November. They're closed? Oh my gosh. Well, Roberta, thank you so very much for helping out, love. Like, thank you. Seriously. My good. You're an angel. And shout out to DRC. Hey, DRC, thank you for the 5. DRC said, please ask Chris why Trump is refusing to tap into emergency funds to pay for food aid. Also, you look fantabulous today. Really, I was feeling kind of crusty, but you all make a girl feel really pretty. So thank you so very much. And that's a fantastic question. So before I ask you, Chris, y'all drop some hearts in the chat for all of our donors. Drop some hearts for all of our donors. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you so very much. And Chris, answer the question, please. Please.
I don't know the rule. I don't know the rule. I don't know the rules on emergency funds.
But do you have to know the rules in order to know that? Because the only thing that you need to know, really, I'll let you know 3 things. I'll let you know 3 things about them. It's a contingency fund held by the United States Department of Agriculture. All right. It has between $5 to $6 billion in it, which is enough to fund SNAP for a month. So there's that part. All right. Actually, I'm going to share 4 things. It is typically used in the event of a natural disaster, so like a hurricane or, tornado, flooding, something of that nature, right? That's when they'll usually
kind of like Jamaica right now.
Well, Jamaica's not. Yes, yeah. It's like if a hurricane hit Florida. So yeah.
Yeah, but
I got you.
We just evacuate. Well, the reason, it does affect the U.S. in some ways because we have a Navy base in Cuba that just got evacuated because of it. So,
but we wouldn't release the emergency funds for that. But like if it hit stateside, then yeah, we would.
Right.
So he has the ability. Okay, so that's 3 things. The 4th thing is that Donald Trump does, in this instance, where he actually does have the legal authority to release those funds by basically working with USDA lawyers to do so, he's refusing to do so. So in the instance where he could actually be the good guy and do the right thing, show some integrity, he's choosing not to. Why do you think that is, Chris?
Well, probably as a way to use leverage to get Democrats to negotiate to sign the CR, to pass the CR without doing it the same way Democrats are using other leverage to get to push the ACA subsidies here. But that's that. To answer, but I was just
It's
looking up
not new
something about it. It
subsidies. It's the
says,
same subsidies.
well, to extend the subsidies. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But it also says here that there is a USDA memo that argues that the contingency fund is not available to support FY26 benefits because the appropriation for regular benefits no longer exists at this time. I don't. I mean, again, I don't. I mean, at the end of the day, that they find. I mean, people find money when they want it. That's what I mean by. I mean, all of a sudden, people are government workers here. I live in Pensacola. I don't care. I ain't nobody gonna find me anyway. I live in Pensacola. I work at the Navy. I work at the Navy base. We just took on evacuees from Cuba. Was my point in saying that. There was a lot of government workers furloughed, but all of a sudden they got unfurloughed when this activation happened because they needed to They needed to. There's people that were on the furlough. They got called back off of furlough because of evacuating the Cuba. Because we have a U.S. Navy base in Cuba that just got evacuated due to this storm. It's to your point of what I'm saying. When emergencies happen, they find money. I mean, I'm agreeing with you. I'm not arguing against you by any means, right there.
Okay, so they found money. They have this contingency fund. They literally have this fund. So they found the money. The thing is that the person that you support, the president of the United States of America, all right, he's acting as if he's only the president of red states. All right. That's what he's doing.
Well, if that was the case, though, the red states are
all of us.
To your point, though, that's not true.
Is it
because if he was being the president of red states, to your point, red states get more food stamps. So if he was being the president of only red states, he would support he would pay the food.
I don't think so, because he's been taking away funding for such more. Also, red states again in those rural areas. All right, so in those rural places in like an Iowa and an Idaho that are red, even in an Ohio or in an Alabama, a Mississippi, I can keep naming them, Louisiana, like we can go on and on and on. All right, he's still cutting funding. All right, so no, he actually doesn't care. But my question to you, Chris, is because I really am trying to understand it. All right, I'm trying to understand how y'all think. Okay, why would he use children? Half of the people who receive SNAP benefits are children. All right.
Well, a lot of those government workers that are furloughed right now have families. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me finish this. Thank you. They're children. These children are going to go without food. All right. They're not going to have food, Chris. They're not going to eat. Instead of eating, let's say, a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner, they may just eat dinner. That is not okay for children. All right. It's going to be some kids who won't eat at all. They may go a day without eating. I think a kid not being able to receive 3 square meals a day is a fucking tragedy. That's on me. All right. Some people are okay with children only eating once a day. Some people are okay with children not eating at all, with fucking starving. Why would Donald Trump want to use starving children as leverage? Because Chris, I refuse to believe that you lack empathy. I refuse to believe it. And the reason why I say that is because you know darn gone well that if the Democrats come back today, those senators come back today and they vote for the CR, all right? They vote for the CR and say, okay, guys, all right, we signed the CR, all right, funding is going to go into place. All right, let's meet tomorrow at 8 a.m. and let's work on these subsidies and make sure that Americans can keep their health care. You know damn well, Chris, you know it, that the Republicans are going to be like, gotcha, bitch. You know this already. Let's not pretend. You know that's exactly what they're going to do. Why are you sitting here telling us that they should just sign it? It's a lose. It literally is. Either way the Democrats go, Chris, it's a lose-lose for them. So Tell us, make it make sense in your own words, please. I'm begging.
I mean, what?
This is
But
craziness.
the same way Trump shouldn't hold starving kids hostage is the same way the Democrats the Democrats shouldn't hold government workers hostage. Those government workers feed their kids too.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna try it again. Okay, so no, if the Democrats sign the CR today, all right, if they sign the CR today, here's the win. The win is that 42 million Americans won't go without their food benefits. That's the win.
Correct.
All right, that is the win. The loss is that this is a massive loss, guys. All right, because guys, I want y'all to remember that when they sign this CR, all right, this continuing resolution is only going to be for about a month. All right, it's literally going to be about a month until like the end of November. They're going to have to come back to the table again and renegotiate for September because they refused to pass a full budget. So there's that. Okay, so the win is 42 million people won't go without food in November. That's the win. All right.
That's a big win.
But the loss is even greater. If these subsidies expire, Chris, it is going to gut the American healthcare system. It will collapse. All right. The loss here is massive. Please, please, please listen to me. Okay. With these subsidies, it allows people, all right, it allows people to purchase private insurance via the ACA marketplace. All right. And it allows people, instead of paying, let's say, $1,800 a month out of pocket for their insurance, which is like basically another mortgage payment in today's time. All right. It allows them to pay $500 a month out of pocket for their insurance. So what ends up happening, Chris, is that if they get rid of these subsidies, the premium cap is gone. Do you know what the premium cap is, Chris?
I mean, it's a cap. I mean, obviously, it's the cap. I mean,
You're right. It's a cap on how much they have to pay for the premium.
Correct.
Right now, the premium cap is at 8.5% of a person's annual salary.
Right.
All right. So their gross income, 8.5%. If they take that cap away, Chris, what ends up happening, all right, is people can see upwards of $136 a month. 136% increase in their premium. Sorry, guys, I was looking at something else. But an increase of 136%. Do you understand how much money that is?
I do. I'll be honest,
What
and
state you in,
I know
Chris?
you're going to say it. I live in Florida. I'm from Alabama.
You live in Florida? Okay, let me see something here.
About 12% of the state receives EBT.
It ain't even about EBT right now. It's not even about EBT.
Well, I looked that
I'm
one up
trying
yesterday.
to find something because it was sent to me. All right, here we go.
But I know you'll say I'm I know you'll say I'm gullible and I'm naive, and
I don't
and
think that you're gullible or
living in-
naive. I wouldn't call you those
Well, when I
things.
say this when I say this statement, I think you'll think that, or you'll just think I'm an idiot. I don't know, but I think that I think the Republicans will negotiate on the subsidy extension. A lot of them have voiced opinions on negotiating on it as part of a larger reform of the ACA. Of course, they didn't like the ACA the way it was in place. Unfortunately, for the Democrat side, the Republicans won the majority. So they are going to have some leeway to try to reform it if they want to. And I think,
Chris,
go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off. But I'm
You're good.
sorry.
It's your place.
Here's the thing though. I don't think that you're gullible or naive or anything of that nature. I'm not even going to say what I think that you are. I'm going to keep that to myself. I just want you to recognize that these are the same people, who voted to defund Medicaid and Medicare and the SNAP program itself via the big beautiful bill. These are the same people, the exact same
Medicare
people.
is not touched. Medicare is not touched in the big beautiful bill. I've just put that out there. Medicare is not touched, Erica. Medicaid is, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And SNAP benefit, and I don't know what was changed in the big bill about SNAP and all, but I know Medicaid was, and it was put limitations on. There was a work requirement put in for people that could work. There was different requirements put in for Medicaid. Now I know Medicare was not. I mean, people say, "Oh, it's gutted, it's gutted, it's gutted." It's not for Medicare. Medicaid was put limitations on it.
There were cuts for Medicare. There were cuts for Medicare in the big beautiful bill. We're going to go over those in just a moment. But what I want you to understand, all right? But do you understand? Because you said that you think that the Republicans will come back to the table to negotiate.
I do.
Okay. All right.
They'll have to.
You said that. But what I am saying, no, we're not okay, Erica. But what we're saying here, Chris, is that these are the same people who actually did funding cuts already to programs that help Americans. What makes you think that they're going to want to do subsidies? They were okay. Sorry, guys. They were okay with giving themselves a massive tax cut, upwards of $4 trillion. But they cut social programs. What makes you think that they're going to keep subsidies in place? This is subsidies. If they get rid of this subsidy can help pay for their tax cut. Like, make it make sense. Like, convince us, Chris, that they would come back to the table.
I mean, I think they're going to have to because it's expiring. They're going to have to. There's going to be too much of an outcry for them not to.
No, they don't care. There was an outcry for them not to cut Medicaid and SNAP and Medicare and darn going in the big beautiful bill. And then they didn't care. They still voted for it. They voted for it. They pretended they put on a performance like they wanted better. Like they wanted better. They put on that performance, but at the end of the day, they still voted for it. It still passed. It's now the budget reconciliation has been signed and it's going to go into effect. So I'm trying to tell you, all right, what they're conning you. Once they get what they want, all right, once they get what they want via this CR, okay, what will end up happening is they're going to say, nah, boo-hoo, gotcha, bitch. Like, seriously, literally, that's what they're going to say to the Democrats. They're going to say that to the American public. Gotcha. They're not coming back to the table. And then basically what's going to end up happening is that when they have to pass another CR for the month of December, we're going to have another shutdown. It's going to be a vicious cycle. It's like Santana said, they don't want these subsidies in place. They want to get rid of the ACA, choke it out. And the way that they're going to be able to do that, Chris, is by letting these subsidies lapse, because once they lapse, approximately 7 million people are going to lose their insurance because they can't afford it. So there's that 7 million, all right? And it doesn't just stop at those 7 million people, Chris, all right? Because we have to think about people who still have insurance via their employers. You have insurance, health insurance via your employer, Chris?
I'm still in the military. I'm still in the Guard, so I pay for insurance through TRICARE.
Oh, you have TRICARE? Okay,
but basically,
all
right. Yeah. I pay. I mean, it's my. Yeah, I basically pay for it through my employer. Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I know with the ACA subsidies. I mean, it will affect private premiums as well. So.
Yeah. What's going to happen is people's premiums are going to increase because we're going to have a larger population of uninsured people who still going to need medical care. All right. So hospitals are still going to need to get paid. If hospitals aren't paid, hospitals shut down. All right. So that's one consequence of it. All right. And when you have a shortage of care, so like doctors, nurses, so on and specialists, so on and so forth, what ends up happening is that it costs more to go to the hospitals that are still available because there's a shortage. And I know it's crazy to think, but with the privatization of health insurance in this country, it kind of works just how it does in capitalism. When there is a low supply but a high demand, you pay a higher price. That's literally what's going to happen. And that higher price is going to be at the hospital. That higher price is going to be in your premium, your deductible, your copay, the amount it costs for you to have a surgery, a routine procedure, so on and so forth. Everyone is going to see the effect of this. All right. And when we have people who aren't able to afford insurance having to decide, because you know what's crazy to me, guys? I ain't even gonna fucking hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. All right. When it comes to medical bills, they can kiss my ass. I said it. When it comes to medical bills, they can kiss my ass. But do you know it's literally people out here who will get a $4,000 bill in the mail or a $100,000 bill in the mail, and they will call the hospital's billing department and say, hey, I want to do a payment arrangement. They say, I want to do a payment arrangement, and they'll pay their $50 a month until that bill is paid off. But guess what? When these people don't have jobs and they don't have insurance, and that $4,000 bill is now $60,000, they're not calling nobody to pay that shit. They're not. Or when they have to choose whether or not, am I actually, hey, is this pain in my side, that bad? Do I really need to go to the hospital for this? Oh, no, this cut that I just got, is it really that bad? Do I really need stitches for it? We have to think about it, because that pain could lead to a burst appendix. Those stitches that you didn't get can lead to an infection. Do you understand how these things just escalate, Chris, when people don't get the care that they need?
Oh, 100%.
And Donald Trump is, in fact, gutting. He is making funding cuts to Medicare. With the Medicare, what he has done is that the Medicare's Hospital Trust Fund, which is about to run out, all right, they basically done a reduction of it of about $500 billion between 2026 and 2034. All right. And also, let's see here. What else has he done? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, also, certain immigrant groups, all right, won't be able to actually use Medicare anymore. We know that Medicare is for seniors, and those certain immigrant groups would be those who are within the 5-year waiting period for their permanent residency status, and also asylees, because those are legal form of immigration here in this country. All right, I just want to let you know that before you say it's people who are here illegally or anything of that nature. There are asylees and people waiting out their 5-year waiting period. All right, they won't be able to use Medicare anymore. Another larger insured population. So, yeah, basically, and they're getting rid of subsidies also to help pay for pharmaceuticals, so to pay for the drug costs. So there's that. So, Chris, there are cuts to Medicaid, not Medicaid, but Medicare that are happening. It's just all around bad. And why don't you see it as bad? I'm trying to understand it, Chris. You don't strike me as a bad guy. Like, what are we doing?
I don't know. I don't know the fix for these things. I know that the health costs in general is higher than it should be. I think there should be something done in attacking health insurance companies that gouge rates. I think there should be something done to remove like Trump ran on in his first term that never actually got worked on. He said he wanted to remove the imaginary line between the states and let insurance companies compete with each other. And he ran on that on his first term, and nothing ever happened with it. But probably because too many of these health insurance companies are lining pockets of too many different congressmen. But if they were actually allowed to compete with each other, like if you live in Florida, you can buy a policy out of Ohio, just like you do with car insurance. That's why car insurance can be bartered down, right? You can get cheaper rates on car insurance, property insurance, things like that. But you
Car
can't do that
insurance
with
is
health insurance.
expensive as fuck.
Well,
You
it's
can do that
expensive,
with
but
health insurance. If you're purchasing, that's what the ACA is. It's a marketplace where different insurers, all right, come together and they offer
if you
plans to
qualify for
people.
the ACA, yes. If you qualify for the ACA, what about a lot of people that don't? You can't just go and get. I mean, if you don't qualify for ACA, I mean, you're gonna. I mean, I know people that. I mean, yeah, they. I mean, you can get it for like $1,200 a month through the ACA.
No,
but
everyone, hold on. No, everyone can buy insurance via the ACA. Everyone can buy insurance
correct,
via the ACA. All right. The subsidies
depending
are
on the
what
price.
have the
Yes,
qualifications.
correct.
No,
That's
I
what I
just, I,
mean. Without the
okay.
subsidies, it's no benefit. I mean, there's really no benefit without the subsidies, though.
Okay, that would mean that would basically mean that you have the ability to afford it, though, wouldn't it? Would it not?
I
Would it
mean, in
not?
theory, I
Because
mean,
people, because no, because
but
hold on, I know someone, and I don't like anecdotals, but I do know someone who made $125,000 a year. All right, and they were able to purchase insurance via the ACA and get the subsidies. All right. So because what the premium credits that they have, the subsidies that are in place, all right, what they've been able to do is they've been able to raise the income threshold up to 400% of the poverty level. So instead of being at poverty level or 100% above, is at 400% above the poverty level. All right, that's actually a lot of money. That's a good thing. All right. So it allows people, it allows the middle class, all right, those business owners, those small business owners to be able to purchase insurance via the ACA. It allows them to do that. Like people like me, it allows me to be able to purchase like insurance via the ACA. So there's that. So that's what I'm saying, Chris. It's not is if that goes away, all right, if that goes away, we won't have the ACA. And then if we do what it is that you said Trump wants to do to allow these insurance companies to compete, I don't know where you were prior to the ACA, Chris, but they weren't necessarily competing. What they were doing is, let's say, they were denying people with pre-existing health conditions, which is an absolutely awful thing because those people still need care. All right.
well, pre-existing conditions was almost always a thing, though.
It was. I said
Most
prior to the ACA. I said prior to.
even prior to. I mean, most. I mean, I'll be honest.
No, I'm
I
saying prior
never got
to.
a health insurance. But no, what I'm saying is I never. I mean, I've changed health insurance several times with employers, and every time I ever changed with employers, it always covered pre-existing conditions.
No, you don't understand. You're not understanding. All right. Your private insurance via an employer is subsidized by the employer. All right. So that premium,
Correct.
that care, they're going to get paid. They're going to get paid. All right. Whether you know it or not. All right. Via an employer, they actually charge a higher amount. All right.
Right.
All right. The
Depending
ACA,
on your employer, that some of them pay more. Yeah.
yeah, the ACA is definitely different. All right, because this is a private individual going to buy this insurance. Before the ACA, it was simple as, okay, you have type 2 diabetes, denied. Something that's
Okay,
completely manageable, denied.
So what you're saying? What you're saying is people that went to get insurance on their own outside
Yes.
of an employer.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I'll be honest. I can't speak. Yeah, I can't argue that because I've never tried. I'll be honest. I never tried to do it because I always had it
Yes.
through. I either got it through my employer or through the military.
Yep. So, I mean, there's that. So I'm talking about people who went to go buy insurance on their own, private insurance on their own. All right. Why do you think Cobra is so expensive? All right. But like, if they had a pre-existing
Yeah.
condition, Chris, they couldn't get insurance coverage. All right. So these were the uninsured. All right. These were people who still needed care. All right. Guys, I think I am about to wrap it up in just a moment. I really do think that I am, because I do want to take a quick nap before I have to parent again. That means go get Bubba. And I think I want to take an afternoon nap. But Chris, without these subsidies, like we're not going to have a friggin' healthcare system here in the United States. Because what I was going to tell you is that without the ACA, what ends up happening, especially the way in which you want it to happen, where the companies can compete or whatever, there's not going to be any real actual competition. The reason why is because it's going to be a matter of United Healthcare charging $700 a month and Blue Cross Blue Shield charging $500 a month, but Blue Cross Blue Shield has a $2,000 deductible, but your $700 a month plan from United Healthcare has a $1,000 deductible. All right. That's literally what they do. Okay. They don't, it's not going to be cheaper. It's not going to be easier. And if people have pre-existing conditions, like I live with type 2 diabetes, if I have to go out without the ACA, if I have to go out and buy my own insurance, they're going to charge me an arm and 15 legs. I don't have 15 legs.
Right.
Right. Like, and Hector literally just said it. Hector said it perfectly. You can't complain about healthcare costs and support this. That's all there is to it. Because you're literally chopping off your nose to spite your face in supporting this. All right. The cost that you pay out of pocket for the coverage that you have, you're going to pay more for it. Our system can't sustain this shit. Like, I'm not cussing at you. I'm just cursing. It can't sustain
No, you're
this.
fine.
It really can't. It just can't
So,
sustain it.
and I know you'll disagree that the Republicans are going to negotiate the subsidy extension. I think they will. I would imagine part of the thing would be that I mean, yeah, I'm looking at it now. A household of four people can make up to $128,000. I would imagine they would argue for that to be lowered. That, I mean, if you're a household of four and make 130 grand a year, you probably don't need the government assistance to help you pay for your car, help you pay for health insurance is what they would argue.
They do though. That's the thing. It's like y'all don't understand how expensive life is. I don't know. I don't know what
Trust me.
world.
How would we not?
I think it's crazy. No, here's the thing, right? And I have to say this, Chris. All right. I'm not even going to ask you how much money that you make or anything of that nature. We don't have to know. I would just say it's a thing with people who have money, who make like upwards of $300,000 or more annually. It's a thing about y'all. I don't know if that's you or not, but it's a thing about them.
It's definitely not.
Is that they don't understand just how expensive things are. They really don't. They don't understand, all right, that, yeah, you might make $130,000 a year, but your mortgage is $2,500 a month. Your kids have school expenses because typically those people are putting their kids into private schools. Now, are we going to go ahead and say that those kids shouldn't go to private school? Are we going to say that? Their kids are involved in extracurriculars. The cost of groceries is up. All right. The cost of gas is up. The cost of electricity is up. Like, all of these things are up. All of these things. And we just don't, it's like y'all don't understand it because it doesn't impact you. It doesn't impact you right now.
I'll be a little transparent. I don't mind. I'm married with 4 kids. I've got 4 kids. I've never made over $70,000 a year. And my wife's been a stay-at-home mother for 16 years we've been married. That was her choice. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted to raise the kids, so that's fine. I've never made over 70. There's a lot of things we do without. There's a lot of things we don't have. And there's
Why
a lot
do you
of
have to do without? Why are you doing without?
Because my wife would like to be a stay-at-home mother and doesn't want to have to go and work.
Okay. But in regards to your salary, you said that you all go without. Think about that.
There's luxuries that we would like to. Yeah, I drive a 2011 Hyundai. There's luxuries. I don't go out and get a car payment that's $900 a month like I know a lot of people have. I drive a 2011 Hyundai Sonata that I paid $3,000 for that it gets from point A to point B. It don't look great. People's like, oh, well, you make this amount of money. You can afford that. It ain't about what I can afford. It's about the sacrifices I make to be able to provide more for my kids to be able to have, because I do pay $500 a month in health insurance. I do pay $450 a month for car insurance. I do pay. I understand how I pay $2,100 a month in rent. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of extras. I don't. There's a lot of extras I don't have.
Do you hear everything you just said? Literally.
Yeah. What? Okay. What are you trying to?
You're
Go
literally
for it.
speaking. You're speaking to the whole point here. You're literally you're speaking to the entire point that we have an administration in control of every part of our government who isn't doing anything for the American people. If anything, he should be working to lower insurance costs, especially health insurance costs for Americans. All right. You're paying that much in rent. All right. Because you got 2 kids, a wife, and yourself. So that is your family of 4.
4 kids. Right? I got 4 kids.
You got 4 goddamn kids.
I've got 4 kids.
That's a lot of goddamn kids, Chris.
Yes.
Damn. That's a lot of kids. You have to take that call.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Make sure you mute. I'll mute you.
I know. I muted the phone. I muted the phone ring. I ain't answering that right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So Chris, you got 4 kids. Goddamn, that's a lot of kids. I think 1 is a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot of kids. Erica, focus. Anywho, it's a lot of goddamn kids. No, he's at work, guys. He's at work. You should have affordable health care. You should have affordable car insurance. You shouldn't be paying $2,100 a month in rent. All of these things, I honestly can tell you, especially the rent part, we can trace it back to Trump's first term and what he did with allowing private equity companies to buy up all of these homes, all of these single family homes, driving up the market value because they were purchasing in cash, which drove up, of course, the property tax value. It's so much, Chris. You've had this conversation before, but it's just it's so much, Chris. I don't know what it is I can say to get you to understand any of this. We are gonna I don't like to agree to disagree. All right, so we're just gonna disagree.
So let me say this. Mm-hmm. The way I think about it, and people's like, how am I okay with this? This is my life. This is the life I live. I feel maybe I have a bad mindset. I feel like I try to focus on what I can control. I can control where I work at. I could somewhat control my income. Of course I could lose my job. I can get another. I can't control what the president does. I can't control what Congress does. I can't control what anybody else does outside of my home. I can control my income to a point, and I can control my expenses. That's what I can't control. There's fixed expenses and non-fixed expenses. I can eat less some days. Hey, half of Americans obese. I know I'm overweight. I can control what I eat. I can control how I shop. I can control the type of cars that I drive. I can control what my coverages are on my insurance to try and make my deductible higher, drive a little safer. Hopefully it's not at my fault where I have to pay a high deductible. I choose a higher deductible to get a lower car insurance. So a lot of things I can control. I can control a lot of my expenses. I can't control what the president does or what none of them jackasses up there do anywhere. But I can control my expenses based on my income. And again.
So why support someone that's literally against you though, Chris? That's the whole thing. That's literally the whole thing, because we can't control every single thing. There are controllables, and then there's stuff that is literally outside of our control. All right. When I left my job in 2017, I really didn't. I didn't expect that, 3 days after leaving my job, that I'd be in a car accident where someone hit me head on, and without a job, I would have to go buy a new car. All right. I didn't expect in this year, all right, in April of this year, that when I lost my job, when I was fired from my job, that 3 days later, it wasn't even 3 days later, I would say it was about a week later, the property manager called and said, hey, the owner's going to be reclaiming the house at the end of the lease, so you're going to have to move. You know what I mean? And so I did move, thankfully. Shout out to family, because I had like the best family ever. Absolutely adore and love them. All right. But I was able to move, but now I'm paying more in rent. Right. That was outside of my control, was it not?
Correct. Yeah,
okay.
of course.
So there's things that are outside of people's control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I said that. Right.
So it's like, but Chris, going back to your first point, people are going to starve. All right. I'm actually tired of blaming Republicans and Democrats. I'm tired of going between the two. I'm going to say, where the fuck is the human element in all of this? Where's the human element? There is none. There's no human element here. There are people who have the ability to do something about this, and they are choosing not to do anything about it.
I agree.
And there's so much more that we could talk about in regards to the cuts that are taking place across the board for so many different services in this country. But we're not going to do that. I'm going to save that for later. I really do want to share something with the chat, and then I want to take my afternoon nap before I have to pick up Bubba. So, Chris, I want to thank you so very much for being here today, for chatting with us. All right. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and make sure you take them phone calls.
You as well. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. Okay. All right. I'm going to stay like this, guys. Just tap on my face. Guys, let's do all the good things. Let's keep tapping the screen. While I tell you, I want to tell you something. I'm going to be a bit vulnerable, and I got my mom's permission to share. I got her permission to share. All right. We're halfway with the balloons, so let's go ahead and knock out the balloons. Also, guys, if you'd like to donate to the local food bank drive that we're doing, links are in the bio. Everything with Erica is the name, PayPal and Venmo. I also have a Zelle, everythingwitherica9@gmail.com. All right, it's the best way to actually ensure that, you know, the donations go to the food bank, because half of our donations are going there this week. All right, and we'll be choosing another one next week. So if you're in the Discord, in the Everything with Erica Discord, all right, and you are a love, by all means, check out the thread, food bank suggestions. All right. And come this upcoming Sunday, we're going to put them all on a little spinny wheel, and we're going to spin it, and we're going to choose a food bank somewhere in the country, in your local neighborhood, to support. Now, with that being said, I wanted to share something with you all. And again, I got my mom's permission to do so. All right. So, guys, my mom lives with stage 4 kidney disease. All right. She was on the verge of stage 5, but she's at stage 4. Okay. My mom does dialysis. She's able to do the dialysis at home. It's the portable dialysis. And my dad, he's my stepdad, but my mom's husband, been my dad for over 20 years. So it's my dad. My dad works at UPS. And Santana mentioned earlier that UPS has been doing layoffs. They have, and I confirmed it with my dad, of course. And he says he's safe for now, thank God. And the cool thing about working at UPS is that they have absolutely amazing friggin' health insurance. Like, it's really, really good health insurance. It's so good that, like, my mom has been able to. They're blessed. They're privileged. Like, thank Jehovah. But she's been able to be seen by the Mayo Clinic, 2 of the local hospital networks here. She's finally making her way onto the, no, actually, she made it. It was last week. She's finally on a transplant list. Everybody in the family has tried to do try to give her a kidney. Unfortunately, none of us have been a match, or because of other health issues don't qualify, but she's on the transplant list. And I really fucking think if things keep going the way that they are, let's say these subsidies do go away. UPS keeps laying people off, and it hits my dad. They don't have that insurance anymore. We're getting funding cuts to Medicaid. She won't qualify for that. She won't be able to qualify for that. Right? How is she going to stay on the transplant list? Who's going to pay for it? Who's going to pay for her dialysis? These are real lives, y'all. And I just really wish that these Trump supporters got it. I'm really trying to keep myself from crying. I really am. So bear with me for a moment. These are real lives that are being impacted. Like, seriously. All right? Real lives. And it does make me extremely fucking angry that people don't get it. And I don't know if they're being willfully obtuse and willfully ignorant, or they really just don't get it. I don't know. And I constantly think about I don't think about what's going to happen to me per se, but the two people that always stay at the forefront of my mind, of course, are my Bubba and my mom. Y'all know Bubba lives with autism, and in him living with autism, there are certain services that he receives at school to help him, all right, especially with his social skills. We have funding to autism programs and behavioral programs being cut. Bubba goes to a specialized school. If they take away the funding and the school can't operate, that means that Bubba goes back to the general education classroom. It's like a traditional public school. And going back to a traditional public school, all right, they don't care that he has autism. They don't care. They don't care that he gets overwhelmed in a classroom of 28 fucking kids. They don't care. They don't care that he needs a little bit more assistance than other kids. They don't care about that. They don't care. They don't care that he needs a little bit more redirection than the other kids. They don't care. They really don't give a fuck. And what ends up happening is that these kids get punished. They get suspended. They get detention. You know, you get a phone call home. You get labeled. But they don't care. They don't want to be bothered. Healthcare goes away. The economy keeps slowing down as it is. Companies keeps doing layoffs. Man, my mom might not even have fucking insurance. Again, she has dialysis. She fucking has kidney disease. She has kidney disease. She needs her dialysis to live. My mom doesn't get dialysis. My mom doesn't live. I really, I'm going to go, guys, because I really want you all to really, really understand the impact of this. How can you be so cruel? That is the thing. It is so real. It is so real what people are experiencing, because if it's not directly you, then it's indirectly you, because you know someone. You know someone that this is going to impact. You know. I don't understand y'all, man. I don't know. I really am. I know we have to get through our food drive, guys, but it's time for some redirection. I'm not exactly sure how much longer I want to keep talking to Trump supporters, because it's a lot. It's a lot. And I'm starting to think that it's harmful to my mental health, and it might be harmful to y'all mental health too, to keep listening to these people being so fucking cruel. Whether they're yelling or even just saying the quiet parts out loud, it ain't healthy. It's not healthy. It's just not healthy anymore, guys. So with that, I want to thank you all so very much for being here today. Thank you to everyone on the Tube and Twitch who hung out today. Shout out to everyone here on TikTok. Thank you to everyone who tapped the screen, who shared the live, who sent the gift, who showed love, who donated to the food bank. You all are awesome. Absolutely fantastic. I went on actually a little bit longer than I expected, so I'm not sure if I'll be doing a evening show tonight. I think what we'll do is I might just do some panel hopping and go from there. So we'll see what happens today. But with that being said, guys, I leave you with this, as I always do. If you can't do something kind for yourselves, please, please, please do something kind for someone else and take care